I once shared a living space with a roommate who aspired to become a model. One day she confided in me her desire to perform at the Crazy Horse show to earn money. I had heard that venue was financially draining and feared it might lead her astray. I attempted to persuade her to abandon this plan and concentrate on her academic pursuits instead. She dismissed my concerns as jealousy, accusing me of using tutoring as a pretext to prevent her from achieving international fame. Subsequently, she failed her college entrance exams, victim to a scam, and I ended up graduating as the valedictorian, basking in the limelight. Consumed by envy, she drugged and abducted me, taking me to Myanmar to force me into the drug trade and maliciously tarnished my reputation with false rumors. Look at her now. This so-called top student is merely involved in the gray market with a chaotic personal life. My parents intervened to save me but were killed in the process. I was sold in a casino and endured brutal abuse at the hands of a sadistic buyer. I regained consciousness to find myself back on the day my roommate first expressed her intention to join the Crazy Horse show. I smiled and encouraged her to proceed, assuring her I would await her success. Mia and Sophia were a pair, and when the teacher announced our names together, I suddenly realized I had been reincarnated. I found myself back on the day our peer tutoring program began. In class, my heart raced as I glanced at Sophia behind me. She looked indifferent, uninterested in the event just as she had been before, never focused on learning from the outset. That evening in our dorm, Sophia confided in me saying, "Mia, I have a secret. I'm planning to dance at the Crazy Horse show. I found a secret sign-up channel. You know those older white men adore Asian girls like us, pale, young, slim. I'll definitely be a hit." Her words frightened me. I tightly grasped her hand, trying to dissuade her, saying, "Don't be ridiculous. We're just ordinary people without fame. You'll likely be exploited. It's not a place for us. Focus on your studies. Getting into a good college is far more important." I was concerned and kept a close watch on her, but my well-meaning efforts only led to Sophia resenting me. After graduation, I was ecstatic about university, having excelled in the exams. However, Sophia drugged me, sending me to hell in Myanmar, where I was tortured to death. My parents were killed while attempting to rescue me. That life was brief and tragic, all because I tried to prevent Sophia from performing exotic dances. Hatred consumed me. The heavens granted me another chance, and this time I vowed to watch Sophia suffer. I feigned happiness for her really. Go ahead then, do your best. I'll be waiting for your good news. The next day, we were officially assigned as desk mates for the tutoring project. She wore earbuds, slightly swaying in her chair. Someone behind her tapped her shoulder and joked, "Sophia, why not showcase your moves on the classroom podium for us?" Sophia scoffed, "I don't dance for you guys. You all look down on it." The homeroom teacher entered, smiling with satisfaction. Sophia quickly removed her earbuds and sat upright. The teacher glanced at me and announced, "The top-ranking results are in, and Mia is not only first in our class but also in the entire grade. We're still awaiting results from other schools." As the teacher spoke, Sophia muttered under her breath, "First again, Mia, seriously, how do you always top the ranks?" I offered a sideways smile, catching a fleeting hint of jealousy in her eyes. After the announcement, everyone settled into self-study, and the teacher took me aside for a private word of encouragement. Upon returning, the class buzzed with excitement. If things continue, Mia is surely going to be the city topper this year. Not just the city, she's state topper material. I was thrilled with my second chance, determined to make the most of my life. But as soon as I sat down, Sophia dampened my mood. What's so great about excelling academically? Many graduates can't even secure decent jobs. Looks matter most in this world. I laughed. You always look so good. If you apply, you're sure to get noticed. Her face brightened. You think so? I bet I'd get selected. I nodded, pulling out a physics test. In the past, I had been a top science scorer in the state. I had a promising future ahead, only for it to be shattered by Sophia. She drugged me, sent me to Myanmar, and smeared my name online. Mia was always like this, flaunting her intelligence to attract men. I personally saw her with tutors at hotels, how she boosted her grades. She even mentioned plans to go to Loli Island. I've never seen anyone flatter older white men as much as Mia. She ruined my life and reputation. I clenched my pen, determined that Sophia would pay this time. Fueled by hatred, I completed a physics test in one sitting. A few days later, Sophia came bursting in with news. "Mia, did you hear? A director is coming to our school to select a lead actress." I was indifferent. Our school often hosted such events or had movie crews filming on campus. The next day, Sophia dragged me to the audition. I knew she saw me as her rival, imagining I was just a geek with thick bangs, glasses, and a nerdy demeanor. Despite that, she insisted I accompany her. I didn't worry much or outright refuse her because in my previous life, Sophia never got chosen even once. However, the result stunned me. Sophia announced she had been selected while I was in shock. A male voice declared, "Ethan, this is our leading lady." Sophia immediately released me and approached Ethan. My body began to tremble uncontrollably. I slowly turned toward the voice. It was Ethan. In my last life, after Sophia drugged me, she sold me to Ethan, who dragged me to Myanmar, subjecting me to various forms of torture. I realized that relationships between men and women didn't have to go to such extremes to be deemed finished. Every time he finished, he'd pat my cheek and say, "This face is pretty intense. Why did you make yourself look so unattractive before? If I wasn't hoping to sell you for a good price, I would have dealt with you already." Thinking of this made my scalp tingle. I spun around, heart pounding as if it would leap from my throat. Just as I was about to leave, Ethan's voice sounded again. "Who's that girl?" I froze. Then I heard Sophia say, "Huh, she's my classmate, nothing special, looks a bit familiar." Ethan approached me, smiled, and said, "Classmate, you look all right. Why didn't you audition?" "I've got stuff to do, got to go." I nearly fled. Back in the classroom, I finally exhaled in relief. Luckily, Ethan doesn't know me in this life. Wait, why would he think I'm familiar? I clasped my hands tightly, palms sweating. Suddenly, someone tapped my shoulder. I jumped, eyes wide, only to see a classmate from behind me. He seemed startled too. "Why do you look so pale? Did I scare you?" "No," I shook my head, taking a deep breath to calm myself. Sophia hadn't returned all afternoon, and our classmates began talking. I saw Sophia leave with that director, got into his car, a Porsche. What do you think Sophia and the director are doing now? Come on, don't say stuff like that. Sophia's not even 18 yet. So what? You know that one girl from our school even had an abortion. I'm sure that director is Ethan. I'll never forget that face, especially since Ethan died by my hand in the last life. Of course, he didn't know I shot him in the back of the head. He died without knowing who killed him. I stole that gun, intending to kill Sophia too, but I couldn't escape and ended up being tortured to death instead. This time around, I want revenge for what I didn't achieve last time. After night classes, I returned to the dorm and saw Sophia there. She looked radiant and excitedly told me, "Mia, I'm joining a film crew. I'm going to be a big star." "Congrats," I responded with genuine happiness. In this life, even if I didn't do anything, Sophia wouldn't have it easy with someone like Ethan. Casually, I asked, "What movie is it? Where is it being filmed?" Immediately, she scrutinized me with obvious suspicion. "Why do you want to know?" She pursed her lips, acting as if she was doing me a favor. "Mia, you're aiming to be the top student in the province. Stay out of our entertainment world. Let's be real, don't get offended, but your looks won't suffice. Money makes the unattractive rich kids look good. You lack money and connections. Focus on studying. It's your only way out." I nodded with a smile. "You're right. I better focus on my studies." In my last life, I was the one telling Sophia to study, and now she's saying it to me. How ironic. The other two girls in the dorm exchanged glances. Sophia, you're pretty, but your taste off. Mia isn't plain at all. Yeah, Mia's face. I laughed, cutting them off. All right, we're students. Studies matter the most. Sophia snorted and went to wash up. The two girls approached me. One removed my glasses, and the other pushed back my bangs. Mia, are you dumb? You're so pretty. Why make yourself look nerdy? No wonder Sophia talks down to you. I couldn't help but laugh, letting my bangs fall back and slipping on my glasses. This way, I don't have to worry about styling. Plus, I can't focus on looks right now. They nodded. Yeah, after finals, you'll blow them all away. Honestly, you're way prettier than Sophia. I hugged them both. Having another chance to be classmates with them is such a blessing for me. For the next few days, Sophia was entirely distracted from her studies, solely focused on her new movie role. Sunday was when seniors had a day off, and I couldn't wait to go home. On Saturday night, seeing my parents a few years younger and alive before me brought me to tears. Knowing that in my previous life they were tortured and killed while searching for me broke my heart. My parents were startled. What's wrong? Did someone bully you at school? I clung to them, sobbing. I miss them so much. It's been years since I saw them in my last life. This time, I want a good life and to protect my mom and dad. I'll never be separated from them again. After crying enough, I finally spoke up. No one's bullying me at school. It's just that I've been doing too many practice tests lately, and the pressure is getting to me. But Mom, Dad, I'm currently ranked first in the state, and all you're to keep it that way. Why push yourself so hard? My mom pursed her lips. You're Dad and I just want you to be happy and healthy. Yeah, how about taking a few days off to relax at home? How about I take you on a trip for a few days, maybe to Switzerland? My mom glanced at my dad. Isn't it a bit late in the year? Is there still that Swiss winter wonderland? There should be, my dad scratched his head. If not, we can go somewhere else. I wiped my tears and laughed. I'll be fine after a good cry. Let's wait until next year, Mom. I really want some of your fried fish. Did you even need to say it? My mom playfully looked at me and headed to the kitchen. Your mom marinated the fish a while back, just waiting for you to come home and cook it. Not to be outdone, my dad added, I also made a pot of beef ribs. Just wait, it's going to be delicious. He then joined my mom in the kitchen. I couldn't help but cry again, but this time I was smiling too. It felt so nice. When Monday arrived and I returned to school, the first thing I noticed was Sophia doing her makeup at her desk. Mia, can you check if my eyeliner looks okay? I took a look and shook my head. It doesn't look very natural. You need more practice. Sophia seemed unconcerned. No worries. I'll have a makeup artist in the future. Won't need to do it myself. I asked her when does the filming start. It's going to be a few months. They haven't even cast all the other parts yet, Sophia responded excitedly, her mind entirely off studying. Sophia was quite smart and could have easily entered a top-tier university. But ever since Crazy Horse became popular, she had strayed from her path. All she thought about now was dancing in strip shows, calling it art. We women should confidently showcase our bodies. That's true confidence, that's feminism. I ignored her and focused on my studies. I was a bit hazy on some topics, but I had a good memory and was determined to work harder than in my past life. Staying number one seemed achievable. I believed in myself because I truly was a model student. Every time Sophia noticed me engrossed in a book, she couldn't help but make sarcastic remarks. Mia, you're turning into such a nerd. You're going to lose your mind. I only smiled, remaining silent in response to her teasing. I used to see jealousy in her eyes, but that had vanished. She now saw herself as superior to everyone else. Then the monthly exams arrived. I maintained my top position, but shockingly, Sophia's rank plummeted from the 20s to over 100, dragging our class standings down. After the results were released, our teacher called her in for a discussion. She returned fuming, complaining to me, "Our homeroom teacher is so nosy. She knows I got picked by a director and plan on joining the entertainment world. Why does she care if I do well or not?" I didn't even really answer the exam questions. I don't care, but she's acting all panicky for nothing. Our teacher walked in, looking serious. "Mia, could you step outside for a bit?" In the side stairwell, she asked, "What's up with Sophia?" She was doing fine in one-on-one tutoring, and now her grades are tanking since you started helping. I told her directly, "Teacher, she wants to pursue an acting career. She's not bothered about her grades anymore." The teacher frowned slightly. "You two sit next to each other and share a dorm room. Could you talk her into it?" "Sorry, teacher, but I need to focus on my own goals," I replied. She remained silent for a moment, then nodded. "True, your own grades are what matter." She patted my shoulder. "All right, you can head back." I planned to stay low, merely getting through the college entrance exams. Sophia was so absorbed in showbiz that she wasn't bothering me much until Ethan appeared. Seeing him made me shiver. He offered a smile he thought was charming, but I found it greasy and creepy. "Mia, right?" I froze. "How do you know my name?" Ethan's gaze swept over me like a serpent. "I thought you looked familiar," he chuckled, stepping closer. "Almost forgot about you." Chills ran up my spine. What was he talking about? Why did he act like he knew me? That's impossible. Trying to stay calm, I responded evenly. "I'm Sophia's classmate. We met during auditions." Ethan gave a knowing smirk. "Yeah, you have that natural beauty. Interested in being the lead in my new film?" I clenched my fists. "But didn't you cast Sophia for the lead?" He shrugged. "That's not set in stone. I can switch at any time." "I'm not interested," I replied and walked away. Why was Ethan targeting me now? I can't panic. I've got to think. Back in the classroom, seeing Sophia eased my mind. I had already figured out how I wanted to retaliate against her. Ethan recognizing me didn't derail my plans. I didn't need to be nervous. Sophia's phone buzzed. She checked it and chuckled. "Mia, I've got something to do." I watched her leave, a smile tugging at my lips. Then I returned to my practice questions. As Sophia hadn't come back the previous night, the dorm supervisor noted her absence. I got out of bed and complained. "Sophia's acting like she's possessed. Does she really think she'll hit it big from just one play? The college entrance exam is right around the corner. She should at least wait until that's over before doing something else." I plugged in my earbuds. Well, everyone has their own choice. Then I began practicing my listening skills. Sophia still hadn't returned. Even the teacher became frustrated and called Sophia's parents. I was just handing in the English newspapers to the teacher when I overheard Sophia's mom saying, "Teacher, our child is set on a career in acting. Her exam scores won't matter. At most, she'll be creating an image of being academically gifted." Her dad added, sounding smug, "Being good at school is useless. Entertainment stars can earn $2 million a day. Not even scientists make that much." Our homeroom teacher was speechless and asked them to leave. I let out a silent laugh and shook my head. Now I finally understood why Sophia had such a bad streak during evening study. Sophia returned. She took off her jacket and wasn't wearing her uniform underneath. My eyes fell on her neck, covered in hickeys, which made my stomach churn. In my past life, Ethan had also left hickeys all over me. I quickly looked away and took a deep breath. The bell rang, signaling the end of the first evening study session. "Mia, come with me. I need to talk to you." Sophia didn't wait for a response and walked ahead. I followed her in a deserted corner of the playground. Sophia got straight to the point, sternly warning me. Mia, Ethan already cast me as the lead actress. Your little schemes won't work. It's all about the looks, so take a good look in the mirror. What did Ethan say to her? I smiled faintly. You know, Ethan came to see me, right? He did want me as the lead actress, but I turned him down. Sophia, we've been classmates since splitting majors. We've been close. I would never try to take your spot. Sophia's expression softened slightly. That's not what I meant. You're so good at your studies. You should focus on the college entrance exam. I nodded. I know. Right now, I'm only thinking about my studies. Sophia couldn't help but laugh. You really are a bookworm. All right, let's head back. Amid the rustling of practice papers, the second mock exam approached. Before the exam, the teacher had another talk with me. I see you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself lately. Take a breather. I had rediscovered the feeling of school from my past life and had confidence in my grades. Don't worry, teacher. I'll adjust my mindset. The teacher smiled approvingly and let me return to class. At noon, Sophia suddenly pulled me aside to a secluded corner, excitedly telling me, Mia, I'm heading to France, leaving tomorrow. I'm in surprise. Weren't you going to film? But the director said he has connections with the Illuminati. I can go straight to the Crazy Horse Cabaret for training and perform as long as I pass the humiliation test. I'll become an international star, and all the resources I want will be at my fingertips. Sophia grew more and more excited, her face glowing. Really? I excitedly grabbed her hand. Wow, you're skipping decades of day tours. Sophia proudly raised an eyebrow. When I become the global ambassador for LV, just tell me what you want. That very afternoon after telling me this, Sophia left. In my past life, Sophia drugged me and sent me to Ethan. This time, she eagerly sought out Ethan herself. She didn't need me to do anything. She was digging her own grave. The exam results soon arrived, and I still held the top spot. When the results were published, I cried with joy. This was the first exam I took after being reborn, and I didn't let my past self's hard work go to waste. My classmates teased me. Why are you crying, genius? It's not your first time being number one. I touched my burning cheeks, and they stopped staring at me. The homeroom teacher glanced at the empty seat next to me, said nothing, and didn't assign a new desk mate. Sophia had dropped out. It was clear the teacher was disappointed but also offered their blessings. Every day, Sophia's post flaunting luxury items filled my feed. She had indeed gone to the Crazy Horse Cabaret. Before going on stage, she posted again, showing off a hay race bag. But soon enough, our classmates called her out. After all, she just got there and only as a plaything. There's no way Ethan gave her a real Harris. But Sophia never responded or deleted the comments. I figured her phone had been confiscated. In my past life, they took my phone early during my performance at the Crazy Horse to prevent any cries for help. In the end, Sophia never addressed the comments calling her out. She disappeared completely. I couldn't help but feel thrilled. Sophia must now understand what a hellish life is like. Even if she isn't dead, life must be unbearable for her. Thinking about how Sophia would endure everything I did in my past life filled me with exhilaration. A month before the college entrance exam, I received a call from Sophia. She sounded normal. Mia, I'm back. We have a holiday tomorrow, right? Come out. I'll treat you to a feast and buy you some bags to celebrate you getting into Oxford early. I suddenly remembered that in my previous life, after the exam results were announced, I was interviewed as the state's top scorer. The night the interview aired, Sophia called me. She said almost the same things as now. When I went to see her, I never returned home. I clutched my phone and forced my voice to remain steady. Thanks for asking, but I can't go. I need to study. Sophia sounded a bit desperate. Come on, Mia, It's been so long. I really miss you. I'm not going, I said firmly. I'm going back to studying. Why? Just as I was about to hang up, I heard Sophia on the line again. Hello, Mia. She wouldn't come out. I can't do anything about it. I quickly placed the phone back to my ear, suddenly hearing the sounds of slaps and whipping along with Sophia's agonizing screams. I hung up immediately, my heart racing uncontrollably. After a long pause, I silently chuckled. The fear from my previous life had transformed into sweet revenge in this one. Sophia, now you finally know the feeling of being worse than dead. Don't worry, this is just the beginning. I thought I'd never see Sophia again in this life, but just a few weeks later, she appeared before me. With finals around the corner, the school had allowed us to study at home. I had gone home and saw her at the entrance to our neighborhood. She hadn't been gone long, yet she looked like a different person, pale with lifeless eyes like a zombie. When she saw me, Sophia rushed over, grabbed my hand tightly, and began sobbing. Mia, please help me. I escaped. I calmly brushed off her hand, feigning concern. What happened? How did it come to this? Sophia pointed to the nearby lake. Can we talk over there? Let's just talk here. There are more people around, so it's safer. Plus, the security guards are watching. Sophia sniffled and said in a low voice. Mia, I was tricked. That Ethan, he does international business. He took me to France, made me serve those white guys. They're lunatics, total freaks. There were several of them together. Before she could finish, she burst into tears again. I inwardly sneered. You're pretty slick to have escaped. Sophia paused, her eyes darting, then continued. They were going to take me to some Lolita island, not the original one. They moved. I jumped from the boat into the sea and swam to shore to escape. I nodded, impressed. But why come to me? Go to your parents, call the cops. At the mention of calling the police, Sophia panicked and screamed. No, we can't report this, no cops. Some of the community security staff glanced our way, frowning slightly. Keep your voice down. Why can't we report this? I got to go home, Mia. Sophia turned and ran off. I let out a cold chuckle. Of course she wouldn't dare call the police. If I couldn't flee in my past life, how could she escape? Ethan probably brought her back to lure me in. She must have some dirt on her so she couldn't go to the police. I looked around but saw nothing suspicious and headed straight home. I dialed 911 and explained the situation to the cops. They took it seriously and sent a couple of detectives to speak with me. They needed my cooperation. Even though finals were approaching, capturing Ethan and Sophia was more important. If things were delayed this year, I could always retake the exam next year. With those two around, I'd never truly be safe. Pretty soon, I learned what leverage Ethan had over Sophia. Our class group chat exploded with explicit videos of Sophia. Although the videos were taken down, I caught a glimpse. Most of my classmates pitted against her, but others weren't as kind. Anyone got it? I'll pay any price. I saw it. Sophia's one hell of a beauty, and she sounds great too. Wow, can't believe someone like her ended up in our school. Sophia popped up in our group chat attempting damage control. It's not real. That's AI face swapping. Stop spreading lies. It's not me. It's not me. I assumed with her video out there, she'd finally report it, but nope. A few days later, I received a message from the cops. It turned out Sophia had tricked her parents into going to Myanmar. They tried to flee halfway and were killed, but there wasn't enough evidence. I offered to be bait, but the detectives dismissed it. No way, that's way too risky. I clenched my hands. I really wanted to bring Sophia and Ethan to justice and dismantle their underground networks. One of the detectives patted my shoulder. Don't worry about it. Focus on your finals. I nodded, then received another call from Sophia. Surprisingly, I felt a bit excited. I knew the detectives were watching me, so I remained calm. Sophia seemed genuinely desperate. She dropped to her knees the moment she saw me, begging. Mia, only you can save me now. Please, please go to Myanmar with Ethan, or he'll kill me. I don't want to die. I kicked her away and slapped her as she tried to get up. If there were no consequences, I would have ended her right there. You want me to go to Myanmar? Are you out of your mind, Sophia? She'd already killed her parents and still wouldn't leave me alone. With those videos out, did she seriously think she had any reason not to involve the cops? This idiot. Sophia approached me on her knees again. You can hit me, just go to Myanmar for me. I get it now. She's out of options. She's totally lost it. When I didn't respond, Sophia's eyes showed a calculating glint, and she stood up with a smile. Fine, let's not go then, Mia. We're friends, right? How about I buy you a bubble tea? She's really lost it. I nodded. Sophia took me to a cafe, the same one where she had drugged me in my previous life. This time, I found an excuse to visit the bathroom first. An undercover cop contacted me, saying Sophia had already spiked my bubble tea. I know. I hung up and returned to sit in front of Sophia. When I picked up the bubble tea, her eyes lit up. Then I set it down again. Sophia anxiously asked, Mia, why aren't you drinking? I smiled slightly. I can't drink it. I'll need it as evidence. Right after I said that, an undercover cop approached, flashed his badge, and took Sophia and the bubble tea away. After Sophia's arrest, the next target was Ethan. For now, we only knew Ethan was still in the country. The entry-exit records showed Ethan arriving but not leaving. Customs was on high alert. As soon as they sped Ethan, they would detain him. The police had set a tight net around him. Wanted posters were everywhere. Days passed like this. I worried about my parents' safety. I asked them to take a few days off and stay home, but they couldn't stay indoors forever. Fortunately, they had police protection whenever they went out. One day, as I was leaving the library, a strong force yanked me into an alley. It was Ethan. He pinned me against the wall, his hand clamped over my mouth. I stared at him wide-eyed, my heart racing. Ethan laughed. So you're the one who called the cops on Sophia. You know everything, right, Mia? You came back to life too, didn't you? My struggling body went stiff, and I looked at him, stunned. Ethan had also reincarnated. No wonder the first time he met me in this life, he said I looked familiar. He remembered the last life but had messed with so many girls that he didn't recall me specifically. I just thought you looked familiar. I pretended to be scared, tears rolling down my cheeks. Truth is, I really wanted to cry, both out of hatred and excitement. Ethan loosened his grip on my mouth slightly. We've been together in another life. You got to help me out. I whispered, how should I help you? Ethan squinted. The police are searching for me everywhere now. Get your dad to drive me to the docks. He can sneak me onto a ship. Once I'm safe, I'll let him go. Otherwise, I'll kill you right now. I nodded. As Ethan relaxed his grip a bit more, I lifted my knee and struck him right in the groin. Ah! Ethan screamed, doubling over and collapsing to the ground. I went berserk, kicking him repeatedly. Finally, the undercover cop protecting me intervened. That's enough, Mia. Don't kill him. I wiped my face and realized I was crying. I got my revenge finally. I did it. Another undercover cop dragged Ethan up from the ground. Ethan glared at me viciously before lunging at me with a knife. A gunshot rang out. Bang! And then Ethan was on the ground, eyes wide open, staring at me. My chest heaved violently as an undercover officer hugged me. It's over. You're okay. I trembled, asking, did he die? The officer nodded. He's dead. I sniffed. He was planning to smuggle himself out through the docks. Using my memories from the past life, I informed the police of everything I knew. They took me home afterward. My parents hugged me tightly. You scared us to death. I shook my head. Mom, Dad, it's really over now. With the intel I provided, the police, along with Interpol, dismantled Ethan's scam operation. The investigation into Ethan's higher-ups continued in the following days. I could finally focus on studying. The college entrance exams arrived with the early summer sun. Wearing the little red dress and shoes my mom had bought me, I got into the car. Dad, I've got my exam stuff, right? I checked again to ensure I had everything. Yes, he replied. After a final check, "Let'n go," Dad said, starting the engine. At the test center, my parents gave me one last pep talk, then I joined the crowd of hopeful students heading in. The 2 days flew by just like any other exams for me. I felt confident after calculating my scores. This summer had no assignments, no Ethan or Sophia, and no escapades to Myanmar or crazy horse shows. Every day I woke up naturally, partied with friends, read, played games, and learned to drive. I was still excited about entering my dream school, just as in the past. And then Sophia appeared again. I was shocked. How Sophia's face twisted as she laughed. You want to ask how I got out? I drugged you, but you didn't drink it, and I was forced. I didn't know what Ethan gave me. I didn't know anything. You think they'd sentence me to death? I instinctively stepped back. Sophia suddenly grabbed my clothes. Her bloodshot eyes fixed on me. Mia, why didn't you stop me when I told you I wanted to join the crazy horse? You should have urged me to study hard. Why didn't you stop me? I was stunned. Sophia, she threw me to the ground and glared at me coldly. I finally get why you encouraged me to check out the crazy horse show. It's because in a past life, I died by your hand, and now you're out for revenge, right? You've got a new look now, ready to start fresh, huh? I'm telling you, no way. I pushed myself up from the ground. Turns out she's remembered stuff from her past life. Well, perfect. I suddenly stood up and grabbed Sophia's hair. Yeah, I am out for revenge, for myself, for my parents. Sophia, you wouldn't even spare your own parents. You're just inhuman. I shoved her away, straddled her, and slapped her face back and forth. I only stopped when I'd had enough, kicked her, and walked away. I knew Sophia wouldn't just let this go. She had totally lost it, so I had been extra cautious during this time and informed my parents too. They were furious and hired bodyguards to protect me. But when Sophia aimed her car at me, those bodyguards were ineffective. I didn't even know when she learned to drive or where she got the car. In an instant, I dodged the car. Sophia's eyes widened as she desperately tried to steer away, but it was no use. The car crashed right into a flower bed, smoke billowing everywhere. After the chaos, people called the police and an ambulance. By the time Sophia was pulled from the car, she was already gone. I collapsed to the ground, feeling like I just survived a major disaster. It was all over. Interpol had news too. There was a trending topic about a raid in Myanmar. The very place where I had been held captive in my past life. By the time I saw the headline, it was already dark outside. Lying in bed, I closed my eyes. I knew that when I woke up again, the sun would rise anew. My college awaited me, along with my brand new life.